Quick, no thinking. Fill in the blank. I'll meet you, the cafe, Monday, noon. At, on, or in, and which one goes where? If you hesitated even for a second, this episode is exactly what you need. Because at, on, and in are three of the most used prepositions in English. And today we break them down completely, for time and for place, with a logic so clear you will never guess again. Stay with us. Hello and welcome to the Porch English, the podcast that takes the confusing parts of English grammar and explains them simply, clearly, and permanently. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Ryan. And today's topic, prepositions, specifically at, on, and in. Three tiny words that English learners struggle with every single day. And the reason they're difficult is that nobody ever explains the logic behind them. People just say, memorize the list. Use in for months, use on for days. But why? Today, we answer that.
Because once you understand the why, the right preposition comes to you automatically. You stop guessing, you start knowing. And we're covering both time and place today, because the same logic works for both.
Before we start, please follow or subscribe to the Porch English. New episode every single day, all free. And your challenge today, at the end of the episode, try to answer the 6 practice questions without looking at the answers. Test yourself honestly. Okay, Amanda, let's give people the core idea first.
Here's the single most useful way to think about at, on, and in. A pyramid. Or a triangle, if you prefer. At is at the very sharp tip, the smallest, most specific point. On is in the middle, a little wider. In is at the base, the biggest, most general.
And that relationship, specific to general, is the key to understanding both time and place. The same pyramid works for both. You don't need 2 separate rules. You need one idea applied twice.
Let's prove that. When it comes to time, what is the most specific kind of time you can name? An exact clock time. 3 o'clock, 7:30, noon, midnight. That's as specific as time gets. One precise moment on a clock.
And which preposition goes with the most specific, most precise, sharpest point? At the tip, at 3 o'clock, at noon, at midnight, at 6:30.
Now move one step wider. Instead of an exact time, a day or a date. Monday, Tuesday, January the 15th, my birthday, Christmas Day. Still specific, it's one particular day, but wider than a single clock moment.
And the middle of the pyramid, wider than a point but still defined, is on. On Monday, on January the 15th, on my birthday, on Christmas Day.
And now the widest level. Anything bigger than one day. A month, a year, a season, a decade. July, 2024, the summer, the 1990s. These are long stretches of time. Not one precise moment, not one particular day, but a wide, open period.
And the wide base of the pyramid is in. In July, in 2024, in the summer, in the 1990s. In is big, in is broad, in holds a lot of time inside it.
So for time, clock time, at. One day or one date, on. Anything wider, in. That's the whole time rule in 3 lines.
Let's make this concrete. I'll say the time expression, you say the preposition. Say it out loud before I give the answer. That's how the habit builds.
Good. Here's the first one. 2:30 in the afternoon.
At 2:30. Clock time, exact moment, at.
A Monday in November.
On Monday, one specific day, on.
The month of March.
In March, a whole month, wider than one day, in.
The year 2019.
In 2019, a whole year, very wide, in.
New Year's Eve.
On New Year's Eve, one specific date, on.
The winter.
In winter, a whole season, in.
Midnight.
At midnight, the most specific clock moment you can name, at.
The 1980s.
In the 1980s, an entire decade, extremely wide, in.
Easter Sunday.
On Easter Sunday, one specific day, on.
7:45 in the morning.
At 7:45, exact clock time, at. Do you feel the pyramid working? The more specific the time, the closer to at. The wider the time, the closer to in.
And once you feel that, the right answer starts to come before you think about it. Your ear learns the pattern.
Now let's apply exactly the same logic to place. Same pyramid, same principle. Specific to general, sharp point to wide base.
Think about the most specific kind of location you can name. A precise address, a particular building, a named venue. I'll meet you at the coffee shop. She works at the hospital. He arrived at the station. These are exact, named, specific locations. You could put a pin on a map and say, there, that building, that place.
And the tip of the pyramid, the most specific, is AT. At the cafe, at the airport, at the office, at school. When you're pointing to a specific place and saying, that exact location, right there, AT.
One step wider. A street, a road, a floor of a building. These are longer, more horizontal. They extend in both directions rather than pinpointing one spot. On Park Street, on the High Street, on the third floor.
And the middle of the pyramid, horizontal, extended, wider than one point, is on. On Baker Street, on the main road, on the 15th floor, on the motorway. Think of on as lying flat along a surface or a line.
And the widest level, anything bigger than a street, a city, a country, a continent, a region, a neighborhood. London, France, Europe, the north of England, downtown.
In London, in France, in Europe, in the city center, in the countryside. In is the container, the big space that holds everything inside it. You are inside London, inside France, inside the building as a whole space.
And there's one important rule about addresses. If you give just the street name, no number, you use on. I live on King Street. But if you give the full specific address with a number, you use at. I live at 42 King Street. The number makes it specific, so it jumps from on to at.
That's such a useful distinction. Same street name, different preposition, depending on whether you include the number.
Same drill. Say the preposition before I give the answer.
Ready.
Tokyo.
In Tokyo. A city. Big container. In.
The 14th floor.
On the 14th floor. A horizontal level. On.
Heathrow Airport.
At Heathrow Airport. A specific named place. At.
The whole continent of Asia.
In Asia. A continent, the widest possible. In.
Victoria Road. No number, just the street name.
On Victoria Road. A street without a specific address. On.
Number 8 Victoria Road.
At 8 Victoria Road. Full address with a number, specific. At.
The neighborhood of Notting Hill in London.
In Notting Hill. A neighborhood, a wider area, inside a city. In.
The reception desk.
At the reception desk. A specific point or spot in a building. At.
The river.
On the river. Something horizontal, flowing, surface level. On. You can also say along the river, but on the river is very natural.
Scotland.
In Scotland. A country. In. Do you feel how the pyramid holds? The smaller and more specific the place, at. The wider and more general, in.
In real English, you often describe both time and place in the same sentence, and each one follows its own rule independently. They don't interfere with each other.
So a sentence might have 2 or even 3 prepositions, one for place and one for time, and you apply the pyramid to each one separately.
Let's work through some combined sentences together. She was born in Dublin on the 3rd of April. Dublin, in. The 3rd of April, one specific date, on.
He works at a bakery on weekdays. The bakery, specific place, at. Weekdays, one kind of day, on.
The concert is at the Royal Albert Hall in London on Saturday evening. The Royal Albert Hall, specific venue, at. London, city, in. Saturday, one specific day, on.
I'll see you at the station in Manchester at 4:30 on Friday. The station, specific place, at. Manchester, city, in. 4:30, exact time, at. Friday, one day, on.
4 prepositions in one sentence, and every single one follows the pyramid. The logic doesn't change just because there are more of them.
That's the beauty of understanding the rule rather than just memorizing examples. You can build any sentence and apply the pyramid to each part independently.
Let's talk about the places where people most commonly go wrong and clear them up permanently.
Confusion 1. At school versus in school. Both exist, but they mean different things. My daughter is at school means she's physically there, at that location right now. She learned a lot in school means during her school years, during that period of life. AT is the location, in is the experience or period.
Confusion 2. In the car versus on the bus. Why in for car but on for bus? This is about size and how you enter. A car is small. You're enclosed inside it, contained. A bus or train is larger. You're on board a vehicle, more like being on a surface. On the bus, on the train, on the plane, in the car, in a taxi, in a cab.
That's a brilliant one. On the tube in London, on the subway in New York, in the Uber, in a taxi.
Confusion 3. At the end versus in the end. At the end means a specific point in time or location, the final moment of something. At the end of the film, at the end of the street. In the end means eventually, after everything, a summary of how things turned out. In the end, we decided to stay home. In the end, it all worked out.
Confusion 4. On time versus in time. On time means exactly at the scheduled time, not late, not early. The meeting started on time. In time means early enough. There was still time to do something. We arrived in time for the opening act. On time is punctual. In time is early enough.
These 4 confusions come up constantly, and they all make sense through the pyramid, specific and precise. At. A wider period or experience, in. A surface or defined stretch, on.
Let's do the final challenge. 6 sentences, each with a blank. Try to answer before I give the answer. Say it out loud if you can. Speaking activates a different part of your memory than just reading.
Sentence 1. She was born New York, January the 24th.
In New York, city, wide container. On January the 24th, one specific date.
Sentence 2. He works blank, a restaurant downtown.
At a restaurant, a specific named place. at.
Sentence 3. My office is blank the 14th floor.
On the 14th floor, a horizontal level, on.
Sentence 4. She arrived Heathrow Airport Tuesday.
At Heathrow Airport, specific venue, on Tuesday, one day, at and on.
Sentence 5. They visited Mexico December.
In December, a whole month, wider than one day, in.
Sentence 6. We live 15 Main Street, Los Angeles.
At 15 Main Street, full specific address with number, at. In Los Angeles, a city, in. Notice, if it were just Main Street without the number, it would be on Main Street. The number makes it specific. That's what pushes it from on to at.
6 for 6. Did you get them all? If you did, congratulations. The pyramid is working. If you missed any, go back and re-listen to the section that confused you. This is the kind of thing that clicks when you hear it the right way.
Let's summarize everything in the clearest possible way. Say this with me, or write it down, so it becomes your permanent reference.
For time. At. Exact clock time. At 6 o'clock. At noon. At midnight. At 3:30. On. One specific day or date. On Monday. On Christmas Day. On the 5th of June. In. A wider period. In July. In 2023. In the summer. In the 1990s.
For place. At. A specific named location. At the café. At the airport. At school. At home. On. A street, road, floor, or horizontal surface. On Baker Street. On the second floor. On the motorway. In. A city, country, region, or large enclosed space. In London. In France. In Europe. In the building. In the room.
Special rules to remember. Full address with number. At 42 Park Avenue. Street name only, no number. On Park Avenue. In the car, in a taxi. On the bus, on the train, on the plane. On time means punctual. In time means early enough. And the pyramid image. At, the sharp, specific tip. On, the middle, a defined surface or stretch. In, the wide base, a container holding everything inside.
What a lesson. The same pyramid works for both time and place. Specific and precise. At. A defined surface or one particular day. On. A wide period or a large space. In.
Your challenge this week. Every time you write or say a time or place in English, pause for half a second. Ask, is this specific, medium, or wide? At, on, or in? The more you ask, the more automatic the answer becomes.
And leave us a comment with one sentence using all three. At, on, and in together. For example, I'll meet you at the bookshop on Saturday morning in Manchester. Try yours. We read every single one.
Thank you so much for listening to the Porchlight English. Please follow or subscribe wherever you're listening. New episode every single day. Share this with someone who's been struggling with prepositions. The pyramid will help them too.
From the Porchlight English, keep the light on. See you tomorrow.
Bye for now.